Hello everybody, I am Riker, and today we are going to do a solar system tier list. So, as you can see, we got all the planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus. And then we also got the dwarf planets like Ceres, Pluto, okay, I'm not going to pronounce that one. Sedna, Eris, Maki. And then we got the moons: Luna, Phobos, Deimos, Io, Europa, Ganymede, Callisto, Titan, Mimas, and Charon. So yeah, let's get started. So, here's Mercury. I'm gonna rate these based off looks, just because it looks so rocky and boring and there's not any interesting patterns. I'm gonna have to put this in C. Anyways, Venus. Venus actually looks like a yellow blob because of its thick atmosphere, but I'm gonna rate this based off of it without an atmosphere. So basically, what's in this image? It has so much orange on it. It looks really nice. I'm gonna put it in A. Earth is the place we live on, but it has super good continental size, and it has pretty blue water. And there's so much thick clouds. I'm gonna put it in S tier. Okay, Mars. Mars is especially orange, and as you can see, I'm gonna call it like the most elevational planet. And what I mean by that is that it both has the biggest mountain in the solar system and the biggest canyon in the solar system. So I'm going to put this in A tier too. Jupiter. Jupiter is probably the most beautiful gas giant out of all of them because of how colorful its strands are. So I'm gonna put this in A tier along with these. Also, I'm gonna put Mars ahead of Venus. Saturn. Saturn, in terms of its main body, it's pretty bland with all the yellow and the stripes or whatever. Don't have much variety in color like Jupiter does. So the rings are very beautiful, and I'm gonna put this in B tier. Neptune, however, it has this place called the Great Dark Spot, and that's kind of a ripoff of Jupiter because Jupiter has the big red spot, but it still has this dark blue tone to it like almost the rest of the planets don't have. So I'm going to put it in A tier. Uranus is actually pretty interesting because it's one of the only planets that are, however, sideways. And it has this great blue tint to it. So I'm going to put that makes me put it in B tier because it doesn't have anything like intricate design or anything, but it does have a neat looking color with a neat little fact. Okay, dwarf planets. Ceres. This is kind of the same as Mercury. So I'm gonna put it in C tier just because of how gray it is. Pluto. Okay, so Pluto is a little overrated, which I can definitely absolutely agree with that. So, but, however, it does have red methane all over it. Of course, this is a false image with all the brown, so it's not like the actual perfect image, but it has the other image. All this brown is supposed to be red from frozen methane. It also has a heart right here, which is a pretty interesting pattern. I know you see heart rocks everywhere on Earth, but you haven't seen one carved into a planet, right? That's why I'm going to put this in A tier, just because of how many colors it has and the fact that it has a little pattern on it. Quaoar. So for this, it's actually kind of interesting. I'm pretty sure it's like red or orange on the surface. I might be wrong, but it also has this wide ring, which makes it look interesting. It's nothing like beautiful or anything, but it has a very interesting look. so I'm gonna put it in B tier. Sedna is also red like Quawar, but it doesn't have massive rings, so that puts it down a tier, so C tier. Eris, I really like Eris personally, not in looks, but it is, it's a little underrated. So I'm gonna put it up a tier just for the sympathy of it, so, A tier. Maki Maki, I love Maki Maki. How much? Well, Nathan Rogg, which is from the Spaceship Discord server, named it this first, I'm pretty sure. But he named one of the moons Hawa, and I like the idea, so now I name Maki Maki's moon Hawa instead of its numbers and letters that it has. So I'm also gonna put it in A tier because I personally think it's quite interesting. Luna. So you've seen this pattern of me putting gray things in C tier, but Luna, as you can see on the front, has all these beautiful C's that give it like meaning. So I'm definitely putting this A tier ahead of even Mars. So top A tier. Phobos. Phobos, it has this red tint, but it doesn't have like any interesting or beautiful design, so C tier. Deimos has more orange and it has clear craters. It's even really smooth, so I'm going to give it B tier. Io, there's something about Io's design because its sulfur surface is pretty beautiful and it's pretty rare for other stuff I've seen, even though I know sulfur surfaces aren't probably that rare. But I'm gonna put it ahead of Jupiter, A tier. Europa is pretty interesting. It has an ocean and also on the surface. You can't see it on this image, but Europa usually has like little scratches across its surface. So this interesting design, plus the fact that it's its surface is made out of frozen water, is A. Ganymede, it's also great. I don't know too much about it, so I'm gonna put it on C tier. Callisto, it's actually quite interesting in my opinion. It's has the most craters, I'm pretty sure. It's a celestial object with the most craters that we know of. Which is pretty interesting, so I'm going to put this in B tier. Titan. Personally, I don't know what it looks like without the atmosphere, but it's just a big blob, so I'm gonna put it in B because the fact that it does have an atmosphere, but also the fact that you can't really see anything. Next one. This, I like Mimas because it kind of looks like a Death Star. So I'm gonna put it in B tier. I was about to put it in C tier because it's also gray, but you know what? No. Sharon is probably my second favorite moon, and well, no, actually my third favorite moon. Why? Because Io and Luna. Luna would be number 1. Io would be number 2. But Sharon is Pluto's moon, and almost nobody talks about it. On its northern hemisphere area, it's actually, I think that's frozen methane, and it actually has some cool design. It doesn't have like much patterns to it, but it has a very interesting shade of gray, an interesting fade of what could be frozen methane. So B tier. I guess we're done. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe so you can see another one. I also made a color tier list, which should be in the corner somewhere. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please click that video, and goodbye.